having course support, Tier 2 being strategic support, and Tier 3 being intensive support. So that's what CS, SS, and IS means. Did you hear? I go to my results, go to the scores. So as you see, some of them, they may fall in Tier 3. Some of them, they may fall in Tier 2 or Tier 1, depending on what measure. So you might have a student that falls for dwarf in Tier 3, for accuracy in Tier 2, and for days in Tier 1. So the question would be, how do I determine as the student as a whole if they are low, below, or at? Well, the DCS is the Dibels composite score, and that's when you add it together. But we're going to go into a report. There's a ton of different reports. The report that we're going to go in actually groups the student as initial grouping because it takes all of that in consideration. I actually printed that out for you just so that you have a hard copy as well. But before I show you how to get there and give it to you, I want to put out this warning. There are 4 boxes, 4 groups. A lot of them will fall in the below because it's the baseline. It's the initial one. This is not in any way saying if you have 20 kids and 15 are in the bottom box to say group all those 15 together. Yes, it might be a core instruction where we have to look at some of it needs to be taught to the whole class, but I want you to pay attention to where they fell in the spectrum because you may find that you can make 2 groups out of this one group. Does that make sense? Out of this one.
Oh, yeah. 15 kids in
yes.
one group.
So Warner, Nero, Dickey.
Warner's here. I'm here.
Nero, and Dickey. Now, before you guys start looking at that, let me show you how to get to it so that you can get to it on your own. If you go to reports, you're still in my results. If you go to reports, and then this is the initial grouping suggestions. You all right? You move up. Go to reports. And there's a ton of different reports that you can use, but we're just going to focus on the initial grouping for now. Are you frozen? Report.
They cannot? What's wrong?
And then hit generate report, and then you'll get the same report that was in front of us. But let's take a look at this report.
Tell them to continue with that task.
Yeah, their kids are better than
So I want to explain what this report means. So basically, if you can take a look either on the screen or over here, it doesn't matter. But that first group, it says likely to need core support. That means for their reading comprehension, their retell was 20 or higher. So when you were moving the cursor, the retell was 20 or higher. Then the fluency and accuracy, the dwarf words correct is 70 or higher, and the accuracy is 95% or higher. Do you see the indicators? Stop me if you're not with me. Okay. See, it gives you the description here.
Right.
They fell into all of those things. So that's why they're only likely to need core support.
Oh, okay. These need. Oh, okay.
Initial movement. So now, group 2, it says they need fluency skills because for group 2, they didn't read a lot of words correct, but they had good accuracy. And that's what I was describing before. It's not enough to say, okay, they scored low on the test. Why did they score low? This breaks it down to say these students here need help with fluency. Got it? So now the third group, they may have read enough words correct. So they may, let's say they read 80 words correct, but their accuracy was too low. So their accuracy was 95% or lower. So that's this group. So you know this group over here would need help on accuracy. And that final group was below, which means they didn't have the words correct or the accuracy.
Oh, you talking about group 4?
Four.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
But see, take a look at this though, because you can group them within. You wouldn't put a 24 and an 89 or a 92 together. So you can break it up within it. This is just those initial groupings, just to give you an idea of where they fell based on their scores. Does that make sense?
Can you give this, can you give the Dibels anytime? I'm just asking because.
Progress monitoring, yes.
No, I'm asking because, no, like baseline. Can you do it, like if you get a job today, can you?
I would still do it on a progress monitoring, because if you do it on benchmark, you're not going to see that growth for your group, for your class. For instance, if a child walks in today, do a progress monitoring one on them to see what their baseline is, but don't have them take the benchmark, because the benchmark is meant to be the beginning, middle, and end of the year.
Okay.
If we test kids on benchmark all throughout before January, then you're not going to have an accurate amount of growth, and then your scores will look off. But yes, when they come in, you do want to do a progress monitoring piece on them so that you see where they start. Now, I'm going to train you guys in depth on how to administer and how to use Report. For today, the goal was to give you an overview of the measures, to give you some resources and ideas of how you can use it. I'm also providing for you research-based strategies. This is called if a student blank, then blank. So for here, if the student struggles with oral reading fluency, then this is what you do. You can model a variety of intonations and reading rates. You can practice using text phrases. For accuracy, reader's theater. I would recommend, they've got now differentiated reader theater books, where, you guys know what reader's theater is. Reader's theater is like the plays, where everyone has parts and then they're able to practice reading it with fluency and expression. Well, now they have, and I'll bring a copy with me the next time I come. I'm going to go actually purchase one because I don't have any more. But it'll be the same. It'll be Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but a middle, low, and high of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. That's the way you're differentiating, but they're getting that practice with the fluency. These fluency folders here will help with that. And Mr. Sessoms has a copy of this. I have the day's practice, the fluency sample, and also I wanted to share with you guys a strategy that I've used in classrooms as well. It's somebody wanted but so then. That's a strategy for retail. Every story has a somebody wanted but so then. For instance, if we were doing the Three Little Pigs, you would say somebody. Who's the somebody?
The wolf.
The big bad wolf. What did he want?
Three little pigs.
Well, but what was the problem?
You couldn't blow the house down.
So, which is the solution?
You played a trick.
In this case, it was the problem was they kept hiding. They had the different houses. So now the solution was he blew all of them except for which one?
The big bricks.
And then, which is the ending? What happened at the end?
He ate that another.
The pigs. Did
The
he eat the
pigs?
pigs?
No, the pigs like no.
The pigs didn't get it.
The pigs
But
fell out
he came down the
chimney.
chimney.
Right.
So this is a strategy also, and it gives you examples. Some of the somebody wanted but so don't have the then with it.
Okay.
So here are some examples. So you have this, so that's a retail thing that can help you as well. Something to put in your toolkit. You don't have it in those. Mr. Sessoms has it, and I believe I have folders back there for you.
Okay.
So, any questions at this point?
I have a question. What does this mean? Because I saw it on hers too. Your third baby too doesn't have.
That means that they did 20 plus on retail. This is the only box. What she's asking is for that first box, there's the X's for the retail, or the plus, yeah, X's for retail. That if they're at for the words correct and at for the accuracy, we also wanted to see did they have their retail in place as well. So this is saying whether or not the retail. So you know this one child who read 70 and then 96% accuracy, you want to work with him thoroughly on the retail because that's the only piece that was missing.
Oh, okay.
So this kind of breaks down the pieces for RTI so that you can.
So ones that need additional support, they don't supposed to do retail?
But Ms. Negro